children, let's begin today's video with the topic screw. Now you can see this picture of a screw. In reality also you must have seen many a times the screw being used in our homes. What is exactly a screw? A screw is a simple machine, children, so we are going to study about it. A screw is a simple machine which appears like an inclined plane. Now this looks like an inclined plane. See this portion? It looks like an inclined plane that is wound around a rod that has a pointed tip. Now this has a pointed tip and it feels that this is actually a rod that has a pointed tip and it is bounded by two inclined planes. Hence it appears like a nail with grooves on its circular curved surface. It appears like a nail. If you remove these threads, children, will it look like a nail? Yes, it will look exactly like a nail. Have a look at this. The nail appears like this and screw just has the grooves, the circular grooves around this axis. The spiral grooves that are formed on its surface is known as the threads of the screw. As you can see over here, children, these are known as the thread. Over here where you put the screwdriver, children, that is known as its head. And this part is known as its tip. It is more convenient to drive a screw in a block of wood by using a screwdriver than to hammer it. That means if you try to put in the screw into a piece of wood, children, you need to have the screwdriver for it. You cannot use a hammer and hammer the screw inside. It will not go inside. If you wish to pull the screw out by the pliers, you would notice that it cannot come out easily as a nail. This is why a well-driven screw forms a better grip than and can support considerably larger loads. Now look at this picture, children. I have brought a screw to show you. Now see, it has grooves like this, right? And this is the head of it and this is the tip. So when it has to be driven inside a piece of wood, then the screwdriver head comes over here, fits into this groove, and then it is made to move like this and it goes inside. Why? Because of this circular threads. Similarly, if you have to take it out also, you need to use the screwdriver to unscrew it and to take it out. Next we come to, children, an inclined plane. An inclined plane is a sloping surface. A ramp, a slope and a hill are all the examples of inclined plane. Now any surface that is slanting, that moves like this, is known as an inclined plane. Now look at this surface, children. This is a slanting surface. It is slanting like this and this is what is known as an inclined plane. Now where you must have seen these inclined planes, children, you must have seen in some of the houses that there is a slope beside these stairs for the scooters and for the motorcycles and all to move conveniently in and out of that place. It would require otherwise a great effort to lift up the scooters to the height of the entrance of the house from the ground without a slope. Imagine the houses that are built slightly at a higher elevation than the road. There, how do the people move their vehicles in and out? That is by means of a slanting surface, which is an inclined plane. Had the slanting surface would not have been there, how would they lift? Even you might have seen in big malls, then you have the stairs as well as you have this inclined plane. At railway stations you might have seen inclined planes are there. So these places, they make the inclined planes, students, so that easily the things can be taken in and out of that place. In hospitals, children, they have inclined planes to drive in and out the patients that are there on the wheelchair and on the stretchers. Inclined planes are also used for loading and unloading of very heavy articles from the trucks and lorries. Now look at this, how the effort is, how with very less effort the load can easily be taken inside the lorry. Now see, here is one more picture, children. If people try to lift up this heavy load and then keep it inside the trucks or the lorries, it will be very difficult. A lot of people will be required. Whereas on the other side, only one person will be required to take these heavy loads and load it onto the truck with the help of this slanting ramp that is put, which is known as an inclined plane. See the goods in the truck. You must have seen the barrels of oil or coal tar being loaded and unloaded. And see, this is how the person can move easily the cycle by means of an inclined plane. Coming to the next heading is children, a wedge. A wedge is similar to a pair of inclined planes put together. That means if two inclined planes are put together, then they form what is known as a wedge. Now here is the picture of a wedge, children. These are the two inclined planes. When they are put together, they form the shape that is known as a wedge. A knife, a needle, an axe, the chisel and the plows that you see in your daily life are all examples of wedge. A wedge has two edges, children. One edge is narrow and sharp and the other edge is broad and thick, as you must have seen in a knife, children. One side is actually the sharper one, which is used for cutting, and the other side is broader and the thicker one, which is not used for cutting. A wedge is used for cutting and splitting of the things also. Just as you move an object up with the help of inclined plane, similarly you can cut the things by moving a wedge through an object. Now look at this, children. This thing is known as a wedge. It is used for splitting a log of wood. First a crack is made, a small crack is made over there, a wedge is fit, and when they hammer it, the crack keeps on deepening and then the logs can be split easily with the help of this wedge. The next one is the wheel and axle. The wheel and axle together forms a simple machine in which wheel is used as a roller while axis is used in the center in the form of a cylindrical rod. Here you can have a look at the picture, children. This is a wheel and the axle. This rod in the center is known as the axle. Now here are also certain pictures, children, of the wheel and the axle that we keep on using in our daily life. Now tap, all of you have taps at home. So see the wheel and the axle arrangement over there, children. Even the fans that we use in our homes, children, the blades of the fans and the rod on which the fan is moving, that is a wheel and axle arrangement. A screwdriver, the steering wheel, all these are wheel and axle only. A wheel is either attached to the axle or the wheel rolls upon the axle. Generally both of them are synchronized to move together. Both of them rotate together and this minimizes the friction. Now friction is that force, children, that opposes the movement. It does not let the movement happen very easily. That is known as friction. Different areas where wheel and axle can be found are, I have shown you certain pictures right now, children. The vehicles and the toy trolleys and the suitcases. Nowadays many suitcases have the rollers over there, so that is wheel and axle. Next we come to, children, pulley. A pulley is similar to wheel and axle. A pulley is a wheel with a grooved rim in the center. It is fixed on an axle. The groove is used to hold the rope as it moves over it. This groove is the place where the rope actually goes and fixes in, so it will not slide and move out of the wheel. This reduces the effort by changing the direction of the force applied. Now in a wheel and an axle, children, in a pulley, children, the effort is being applied in a different direction and the load gets pulled up in a different direction. So this change of direction actually happens by pulley, because it is always convenient to pull something in the downward direction rather than pulling it in the upward direction. Have a look at this picture, children. The person is trying to pull the rope in the downward direction, so the load is coming in the upward direction. So this is an easy direction of pulling the things down. But had he to pull the thing from here somewhere, if he is holding the rope from here and he is pulling, children, he will exert a lot of pressure and he will not be able to lift up the load very easily. So the pulley does not do anything. It only changes the direction in which the effort is being applied. The effort which would have been applied over here is actually being applied over here. So the change of the direction is what the pulley does for us. Pulleys are used in cranes and hoist. if there is just one wheel, the effort equals to the load. Now this is very important, children. If in a wheel, in a pulley, if there is only one wheel, the effort will be just equal to the load. Only the thing is, direction of the effort will change. This kind of a pulley allows the direction of the load to be altered, that is changed. As you can see it in the figure I showed you right now, children, that instead of lifting a weight upward, the person is pulling the rope in the downward direction. A combination of pulleys may be used to lift a heavy load with a smaller force. That means if you use a combination of pulleys, children, then even the effort applied will become lesser than the load that is there. In this kind of pulley system, the effort is less than the load. Such a pulley system is called a block and a tackle system. So that's it for today's video, children. I hope I made myself very clear to you and you have understood each and every point that I have explained to you in today's video. If you have really understood, you know what is to be done. Please do like, share, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. And please hit the bell icon, because after that you will be notified with every new video that I'm going to upload. See you very soon with rest of the videos upcoming soon. Till then, take care. Bye bye.